Know what time it is. It's time to get Mr. Boydu Reviews opinion on. We got the preview scenes.
Have been warned, despite the lack of action, I absolutely loved episode 9. Go check out my full review for that. And to the 2.6 thousand people that hated the episode, not every episode of Solo Leveling has to be action-packed. We need
we're preaching to the choir right now. These monkeys, they don't watch videos like this. You think they're literate? You think they can understand what you're talking about? Remember, this ratio, just remember that this is nothing at the end of the day. It is a small droplet into the ocean known as like the masses, the fans that watch this shit. Vast amount of people love this shit. This is such a small percentage, but relative to the other episodes, right? It is definitely the highest disliked video. Not that surprising, but again, monkeys are gonna be monkeys.
Packed. We need to have these small, intimate character interactions and moments in order for us to truly appreciate the fights. Moving on from that, on Tuesday we got a new teaser trailer for the next big arc, the Jeju Island arc. And OMG mate, these scenes looked absolutely phenomenal.
OMG
but
indeed.
while we had a new trailer for this new arc, at the same time of that release, we actually got 3 new preview images. I completely forgot to talk about these 3 scenes when doing the Jeju Islands trailer breakdown. Now, 2 of these preview images have already been shown in the trailer, but the other 3 were not, and I completely missed them. Just to let you guys know, I am an anime only and do not know the future of the manhwa, so unless you put a gigantic spoiler warning alert on your comments, please avoid spoiling anything in the comments section. That way me and other anime onlys like myself can enjoy Solo Leveling spoiler free. The first scene, we have Sung Jin Woo looking on at the potential fight with the Korean and Japanese teams. It's actually quite rare for Sung Jin Woo to be somewhat interested in anything.
Yeah, it's looking like the S-rank Japanese hunters are good enough to pique his interest. He's smiling, he's excited.
Other than fighting the bosses in those dungeons and seeing Chai Hai-In the dancer absolutely go crazy. Her fighting style looking awfully similar to Angelina Ballerina.
Still using this random ass cartoon instead of Mitsuri from Demon Slayer? It is what it is. I wonder again if Hein is like thinking in the back of her mind that, oh my god, my future husband's watching me fight. I gotta do some extra shit.
I think Sung Jin Woo is rather impressed. Sung Jin Woo did admit.
Is he impressed at her, or I wonder if he's impressed at other people, because their relationship so far seems very, it's not even one-sided. She just finds him to be smelling good, and he doesn't really seem to be that interested in her just yet.
That he was rather impressed with Chai Hai-In the dancer's aura back in season 2 episode 4. And if this one S-ranker can impress Sung Jin Woo, what on earth will an entire team of Japanese and Korean S-rankers do to his trousers? The dude is going to be absolutely gobsmacked when these S-rankers unleash their powers. But at the same time, notice how his hair is flapping in the wind?
Meaning that he could be fighting, right? This could be the Goto versus Jin Woo spar. Why would there be so much movement if he's not moving around?
I do wonder if Sung Jin Woo will end up fighting any of these S-rankers. I mean, we can't forget that Sung Jin Woo is the new S-ranker, so he has to train alongside these guys, right? If so,
surely.
Oh my gosh, I am looking forward to this fight. I wonder if it will be some sort of battle royale. That will be cool. I do feel like out of all the characters he could potentially fight, Yeonwoo would be the #1 opponent for Sung Jin Woo, as back in season 2 episode 2, the 2 of them
doing team fighting? We doing infighting? Hold up, friendly fire is off right now. Why are we fighting with our own? We gotta do Japanese versus Korean matchups.
Had that pretty damn intense stare down, and I was like, oh, these guys are going to fight sometime in the future. I could just feel it in me wee bones, laddie. The next scene,
I mean, fuck, if Jim just like spars against everyone else instead of 1v1, it's like a 1v8. I'd be down.
Is of 4 characters from the Japanese team. We saw a little bit of the buff dude's power, looking like Goku going Super Saiyan. We saw a bit of the Spiky Boy and the Eye Patch Man in the trailer. Eye Patch Man has an interesting ability. I wonder what that red eye power does.
I don't know, but he's already like coughing blood out of his mask. It's not looking too good. I want to know more about her, bro. Her design is sick. You got the sleeve arm tattoo, chill hat. Looks like she's also in incognito mode like Chae-in during the off days. What's she about?
But what about the girl in the purple shirt? I wonder what her abilities are. And the final scene that I missed out is Chai Hai-In the dancer and Yeonwoo staring in absolute shock.
Wonder what they're looking at. Just the regular Japanese lineup of the 4 people? Maybe Goto Ryuji getting involved? Maybe they're sidelined and they're watching Jinmu versus Goto? What are they so shocked about?
At what appears to be some sort of battle, but who could be fighting? While I assume it could potentially be them watching their other team members fighting the Japanese team, Yeonwoo and Chai Hyen the dancer never give these type of expressions.
That's right. These two, again, are like the most elite of the elite on the Korean side, right? So if they're in shock like that, it must be Jinmu versus Goto.
When it does not involve one Sung Jin-woo, I have a strong feeling that Sung Jin-woo is going to be fighting an opponent, unleashing his powers, shocking these guys, because it's not the first time these guys have been shocked by Sung Jin-woo. But who could Sung Jin-woo be fighting? Well,
Goto.
there are 2 people I have in mind. Goto.
There's only one person we have in mind. It has to be Goto. Who else, right? The other dudes, I don't want to disrespect them, but I'm going to disrespect them. I don't think the other Japanese hunters really matter at all. I think there's only one person that actually matters in the grand scheme of this current arc. Power scaling wise, we gotta get the main man Goto Ryuji fighting Sung Jinwoo.
Goto, the leader of the Japanese team, and Guildmaster Troy, maybe those 2.
Why is okay, it's still Troy. It's no longer Choi, it's Troy now. Why are we doing infighting, bro? He really wants Korea versus Korea fights to happen.
To team up together to fight Sung Jin-woo. It is just a theory of mine. It may or may not happen, but I can't think of any other reason as to why Chai Hyen, the dancer, and Yeonwoo would be looking in absolute shock.
Gotta be Goto versus Jinmu.
Speaking of Yeonwoo, I have a theory regarding him. In Season 2, Episode 9 of Solo Leveling, White Tiger leader Yeonwoo was having a catch-up with his old buddy, old pal, S-ranker healer Min. And the 2 of them recall a buddy of theirs called Eun-suk, and how the 2 of them want to go back to the Ant Island to more or less get revenge on those ants for what they did to their best friend. We had a flashback in the same episode of Eun-suk.
And we saw him kind of regret it, right? Eun-suk was saying, hey, you know, because we have the power, we must step up and protect others. And this is, I think, why Byung-yu is coming back out of retirement. Are we saying that Byung-yu is the one that's out and fighting Jinmu?
Talking to Min, Eun-suk talks about how Yeonwoo can be an absolutely unpredictable man in both personality and powers, and how they are the only 2 people who can somehow help him. In the same episode, Yeonwoo was fighting like an absolute beast, but even then, this guy was holding back because according to Guildmaster Troy,
yeah, that's right. Troy said that, you know, if he goes too much, if he goes all out, the berserker beast mentality comes out and he can't control himself. Ma would be in danger. All right, keep cooking.
The man turns into a monster. Oh my gosh. I have a strong feeling that when they go to the Jeju Island arc, something bad is going to happen to S-class ranker healer Min, Yeonwoo's best.
I actually do agree with that, though. Wait, we got this dude loves these theories trying to kill off people. I'm all for it. Listen, Mom and Jinho's dad is still on the table. We can still kill off Jinho's dad, and I'm down to theory craft. But like Byung-yu, though, think about it. Thematically, a guy who retired because he was traumatized from the battles and the blood, who is now having second thoughts to come out of retirement. I think that him dying would make some tragic sense. It would be very unfortunate, but and it'd be very fucked up, but I definitely could see that happening.
Friends, that entire exchange they had in the cafe was so heartwarming and endearing that
yeah, it kind of feels like those, you know, death flag setup, right? Anytime like slice of life moments, thinking about the past or the future dreams, hopes, blah 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 before an all-out war, like they're probably gonna die. So like, not saying Byung-yu will die, but it's likely, maybe.
That I have a strong feeling that Min is not going to make it out alive. Heck, in the trailer for the Jeju Island arc, the 2 of them have a brotherly exchange. And it's so wholesome. The other characters are smiling in the background. Mate, in these
other characters are just like, yep, I'm not gonna do a handshake with you like this. This is death flags. We're stepping out of this. All 4 of them is like, yep, bro's gonna die. We're staying out of this. So you do your slice of life shit all you want.
In the background, mate, in these type of stories, whenever the characters are gonna say, we're gonna make it out alive.
True. I absolutely agree. This is an absolute objective pattern of behavior. You never say shit like that. Oh, I got kids waiting at home. Oh, my fiance, my wife, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. Lock in and fight. Don't talk about what's gonna happen after this. You gonna die.
Something bad always ends up happening. My theory as an anime only is that Yonhu will see something bad happen to S-Class ranker.
I can see it.
And
I can see it.
Go absolutely crazy. The way
I think that this makes 100% sense. Is it gonna happen? It doesn't matter. The point of these theory crafting is the logic behind it. This Byungyu guy got so many death flags. Guildmaster Beck, he can go berserk. Have his friend die off, go berserk, and crash out at the Ant Raid arc is something that definitely could happen. This makes sense to me.
Guildmaster Troy talks about Yonhu's powers turning him into some sort of monster, and the way Eon-suk talked about how Yonhu changes when he gets serious with his personality changing. I do wonder if his powers are somewhat similar to Naruto's nine-tailed beast powers. Whenever that boy got mad or upset or angry, he would turn into an absolute monster. And I feel like that may end up coming true. In the scene, he mentions how he has never once met anyone who dislikes fighting magical beasts, and he wonders if that bloodlust when it comes to fighting off these magical beasts is the key to awakening your true powers. Maybe Yonhu's powers haven't fully been awakened, and maybe if Yonhu is pushed emotionally and physically to his limits against the flying ants, maybe digging deep into the dark pits of his soul will be the key to reawakening his powers.
I am down. Again, logically, this makes sense to me. This doesn't sound like rage bait, where he's completely getting the themes of the story wrong. Everything that he's mentioned so far falls in line exactly with the characters that we're talking about right now. And if we have Byungyu sacrifice and we get Dark Mr. Guildmaster Beck, I'm all for it.
To become one of the strongest in the world. Back in Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 8, Iseo mentioned how all of Demonkind had to band together to defeat one main threat. I do not think it is any surprise that this threat is potentially going to be the Flying Ants, the Ant Queen, and all of her.
I just don't understand that connection, right? Because, like, this is an instance dungeon that the Demonkind were put into. From where? The Demon Realm. And remember, the war was happening within the Demon Realm, right? They were in the Demon Realm, they were getting prepared for a threat. Well, how does the ants kind of like connect to that? I just don't think this makes sense to me. But I'm always trying to walk back from this theory that the Shadow Monarch is the final boss of this show based on what Dad said. And the identity of the monarchs being seemingly more like a title that's been passed on to Jinmu based on what Tusk is also saying. So I want to believe that the Shadow Monarch is the ultimate threat that the Demonkind were preparing for. Maybe I'm going nowhere with this, but I just don't feel the ant connection makes sense.
Subordinates. But what if the ants aren't the true threat? Maybe the true threat are human beings who awaken their true powers, digging deep into the dark parts of themselves, that bloodlust in wanting to fight no matter what, whether it's for the good of the people or just for your enjoyment. Maybe the true villains aren't the flying ants, but the 7 deadly sins within every human being.
I think he's cooking. Now, he's definitely hedging towards Guildmaster Beck as that final boss thing, with the theme being the humans, the hunters, whatever, are the bad people. If we just pivot there and go to the Shadow Monarch, that's my theory. This is absolutely on point, in my opinion.
And whose 7 deadly sin may actually be Wrath, and maybe his powers will become a threat to humanity.
Oh shit, we got the Archbishop representing Wrath, Mr. Becky Yonho. I'm down. Shit, you want to bring the 7 deadly sins theme into it? Let's go.
Yonhu may end up going so down the dark path that he potentially could end up being one of the final bosses of the...
Dude, you never know. I still want to believe that the monarchs are the bad people, right? It was kind of obscure what happened with Demon Monarch Baran, because apparently he was never Demon Monarch. That's like a translation issue. Anyways, it just feels to me that, again, the Shadow Monarch, right, is like a title. It's not like one thing. So again, if we just build off this theory and then pivot into the monarchs, I think that's where the story is going.
The show that every S-class ranker in the world will have to defeat. Maybe Sung Jin Woo could also go down that dark path. And
I think he's already going down that path. I think that, like, again, based on what Dad said, Song Il-won said to Hwang Dong-soo about the powers, your hunters, they can all be used against you. It does not matter. It just sounds so much like the necromancer powers that Jinwoo has. It just feels like, again, Jinwoo currently is being set up to be, like, taken over by, like, the Shadow Monarch by the time he's leveled up enough.
Side with Yeonwoo. In the same episode, he talks about how he has gone down a path that he may not be able to come back from, ending the lives of many humans despite them being scumbags. The man has blood on his hands. Maybe he will have a Walter White / breakdown where now that his goal is complete and he doesn't need to continue, he would want to continue and want to keep fighting. Maybe Sung Jin-woo will unconsciously put his family in danger.
I think that you saw his humanity be there, right? Him having the emotional breakdown last episode because of mom. We also have Jenna. But I think Chae, and also I think that, again, the more like you lose yourself to the darkness, the waifus are there to kind of like put you in place. So we'll see where this goes.
In order to give him motivation to fight whatever enemies come his way, whether they are demons, ants, or humans. If this will be the final twist in the series, oh my gosh, that would be absolutely dark, but very interesting. Again, this is just a theory of mine. It may or may not happen. Overall, I love the new preview images.
I think this is the most that I've ever agreed with a Boy Dude reviews. A lot of the times, he just going off the rails, putting fucking metal spoons in the microwave, and it's fun. It's very fun to, you know, listen to his theories and build off of it. But sometimes I just don't agree with it. This, I absolutely agree with it. The specific part, not really about the 7 deadly sins, but about, like, are we the bad people? Instead of the monsters and stuff, are the hunters the bad people? And not just any hunters, are the monarchs the bad people? We haven't really met multiple. There's, like, Jinwoo, and there's Baran, I guess. But based on what Tusk was saying, based on what Dad was saying, it just feels like Jinwoo is the big bad final boss that's being prepared by the Shadow Monarch. And if we pivot from, again, what he was saying, with Guildmaster Beck going berserk and losing all sense of, you know, good and whatever morality and going to the dark side and leaning into the 7 deadly sins wrath and pivot into the Shadow Monarch, that's where I want to put my theory. Please go check out Boy Dude Reviews channel. Here is the link to the video, and go give it a like. I'll see you next time.